Hey, Sarah with NextGEN Medium. I'm the founder of NextGenMedium.com. I discovered my psychic intuitive mediumship abilities a few years ago. And since then, I've been on a mission to help people be aware that this is like a universal thing, being a human and having these abilities. And it is special to no one, special to everyone, I guess is another way to put it. And so I got a website, I got a blog, I got a podcast, I got all kinds of stuff that you can check out at nextgenmedium.com. Now, I came across a question on Reddit that I wanted to talk about, and I thought there were a couple of insights in there that for other people who have the same kind of experience, um, that I wanted to pass along sort of my experience and my truth with this whole thing, and maybe it could help someone else. So, uh, I really like Reddit because I like conversations and not just memes. I do like memes, but um, so I have become a part of the subreddit Psychic Development, and in there was a question from a young woman. Her name is Aqua Lugni. And so today's March 15th, 2021. If you want to find this question yourself, I think it was posted yesterday. So March 14th, 2021. And it's titled Psychic Dreams. And I'm going to read it to you and I'm going to give you my thoughts about it. She says, I'm 22 years old and have begun having psychic dreams when I was 18. I've only had 3 psychic dreams that I know of so far. I'm relatively new to the idea of having psychic abilities. Is it possible for me to develop my dreams further so I have more psychic ones or learn how to have psychic visions while awake? I just want to understand why I'm having the dreams and possibly have some control over them or strengthen what abilities I may have. Any advice or resources I can use for research are greatly appreciated. All right, so I'm going to go kind of line by line with this. 22 years old, begun having psychic dreams when I was 18. Um, I've only had 3 psychic dreams that I know of so far. I'm relatively new to the idea of having psychic abilities. Okay. So, excuse me. Her first question, is it possible for me to develop my dreams further so I have more psychic ones or learn to have psychic visions while awake? So, one of my theories that I've talked about in my blog, in my podcast, is why psychic or intuitive or mediumship comes to us in our dreams. And m- my theory is that it comes to us in our dreams because we're not paying attention to it when we're awake. Maybe we don't know how to tap into it when we're awake. Um, the other component is that we don't pay attention to it when we're awake, and that it does come to us. We just easily dismiss things because it's not how we have been conditioned to understand the world around us is with these psychic senses, our intuitive, psychic mediumship abilities, how to use this world with those. And we're also conditioned to believe that some people have it, some people don't. And then there's other people that are just skeptical of the whole thing and don't think it's even a thing. So, but it sounds like Aqua Lugni does understand that she has psychic dreams. Um, she said she's relatively new to the idea of having psychic abilities. So, this is the other component that I think is really good with dreams is when we're in our waking state, we tend to be very dismissive of the stuff that comes through. We second guess it. We don't believe it's true, or what is it that is truth in this? And when it comes to dreams, you are sort of submissive. You can only just take in. That's all you have really control over. And so it's sort of like um a direct experience of having your premonitional dream. In this case, if you're dreaming of something that happens at a later time, that's a premonitional dream. And the information that happens in that dream is just so true to what happens. You're just taking it in, and your intuition, your subconscious is just letting it happen, as opposed to in your waking life, your conscious state is trying to adhere to the laws that you've developed. So um, when you receive with your psychic ability, it's normal for you to dismiss it or to not even pay attention to it or not listen to it. It's very subtle, so it's hard to hear, it's hard to see. And you get so used to ignoring it after a while. Um, so one of the cool things about dreams is it gives you a glimpse of your abilities by seeing it happen. And that's sort of evidential for you to know that you do possess these abilities. Now, I believe everybody has them. How open you are to that idea, I think only propels the curiosity, and opens the possibility. So for her to say, "I'm relatively new to the idea of having psychic abilities," having that dream, or at least 3 of them, has shown her that she is capable. And sometimes just opening that door, propels you forward into this whole other world. So that is something that we wanna see it for ourselves in order for it to possibly be true, and it will take multiple times and multiple pieces of evidence to have it be convincing enough for you, and that's totally healthy. That's all part of it. You don't wanna be non-skeptic in this because you want it to be proven, and most importantly, proven to yourself. You gotta prove it to yourself. Um, so her psychic dreams, would be premonitional dreams. Then she asks, I love this because this is something I still wonder about. Is it possible for me to develop my dreams further so I have more psychic ones? I definitely think that's a possibility. My journey started with a premonitional dream as to opening the door to what could be my skills. And I will say that I really haven't had such a strong premonitional dream since. And I think part of that has to do with me being able to connect with my intuition in my everyday waking life and working with it. And so now my skills, I can control in my waking life. Um, but I will say that when it comes to controlling my dreams, I don't know if I just haven't put the effort in or if I just don't care or if it's really just really difficult for me, but I know for some people, they can have control over their dreams, which is pretty outstanding to me. I would love to learn how to do that. Um, but she goes on to ask, should I learn to have psychic visions while awake? I think if you're having them in your dreams, you're most certainly capable of having it in your waking state. It's just trying to figure out where in your brain you need to focus to get to those visuals for her clairvoyance, which sounds like is a big psychic soul sense of hers. Um, so what I wanted to add to that was it's going to take time to develop what that is and what information to take in. And you really have to develop sort of a new threshold of taking in subtle information. We're so used to having a physical visual thing to look at or auditory. Working with those physical senses is so you can't really ignore that, as opposed to what is truth with your psychic senses, and it takes time to develop that and trust that. So I would say it's more profound in the dream states, but is it as controllable as it is in the wake state? I don't know. And in the wake state, you've got that component of second guessing and questioning and all that stuff. So there's a lot that needs to be developed in the wake states that could come a lot easier in the dream state, but being able to control in the dream state might be difficult too. So either way, there's some learning that needs to happen. I wish I could help with that dream state control because I don't know, I just don't try it or just don't care enough. But that waking state, that's something that I can control and that I've been able to take the time to kind of hone in on, practice and test and experiment with. And I have a trust in that. I have a trust in that now. So I find that easy to control now that I've had enough time with it. If you're looking for an overnight thing, I don't know if you're going to be able to find that. I just want to understand why I'm having the dreams. So again, I believe she's having the dreams um, because she's not listening to her intuition, her psychic, her mediumship, her healing stuff in her waking state. And so this is the tap on the shoulder from her higher self or spirits or whatever that she needs to pay attention in that conscious state, in that awakened state. Um, I just was watching just a little bit of an Eckhart Tolle talk last night where he was talking about um, consciousness and ugh, I gotta watch that again because I was gonna kind of dive into that just a little bit with this, but maybe I won't. I just want to understand why I'm having the dreams and possibly have some control over them or strengthen what abilities I may have. So, what she has witnessed is just the tip of the iceberg from my experience. You experienced it in a sort of a uncontrolled way. So, it was put upon you by your higher self. And I do believe she has every opportunity in the world to get in there and get her hands dirty and get to work. Any advice or resources I can use for research are greatly appreciated. So I did a recent blog post about dreams and my thoughts about dreams and dream dictionaries and all that stuff. You can check that out at nextgenmedium.com/blog. I also have a podcast at nextgenmedium.com that's on Simplecast, but also available on iHeartRadio and uh iTunes and just about everywhere. Just wherever you get your podcasts, I'm there. But yeah, so I thought I would touch upon that. I thought that was a really cool post that was put up in the subreddit Psychic Development, and I hope that helps a little bit. She did so I did uh put a link in the response for her, and she said, "Thank you for this. I'd been quite I've been having quite a lot of dreams, especially now after being awakened late last year. Welcome. Welcome to the brave new world." She says, "I split from a partner, seldom had dreams. I put this down to having lost my sight. But from October, I've been having daytime visions and dreams." See, now you're starting to pay attention to it. This is good. I thought the last few weren't relevant, but beginning to see clarity now with it all. Oh boy, so exciting. That just gave me the chills. You're welcome. And if you have any questions, throw them in that subreddit. Um, and maybe I can answer your questions specific to you. I will always probably have more questions while I'm answering yours, including for her. What do you experience during the day that is subtle that you notice, but maybe you ignore? Because your intuition's tapping into your dreams to shake you. Hey, trying to get your attention. So there's lots of stuff going on in her waking life that she's not paying attention to. So it sounds like she's on the right path. She's starting to listen to her intuition and starting to really uh, hmm, be aligned with that energy that is that goes directly to the higher self and right to those soul abilities. So throw a question on there, or you can message me on my website, nextgenmedium.com. Check out the contact form. And if you want, we can sit down, have a development session, and you can book that on my website as well, nextgenmedium.com. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Maybe I'll do some more questions at a later time.